Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuravana and my student number is A1212042. So here I will present my mini project proposal. The title of my mini project proposal is Improve Listening Skills of Secondary Students Using Digital Storytelling. This presentation including of 3 chapters. The one is introduction. In introduction, we'll talk about the background of my research. What will I do with the research? And then the second is literature. Literature will talk about some journals that are related with my research method. And then in chapter 3 or last chapter, we'll talk about how will I use to do the research. Okay, we move to the chapter 1 about the background of the research. I'm certainly sure there are many problems that we find when learning listening skills. One of them is loss of concentration, and digital storytelling is the technique based on audiovisual, and I think it can be easy for students to get their concentration, will be more concentration, because they will feel interest with the learning. And then problem statement related to the background. The problem statement is, can digital storytelling improve listening skills of secondary students? The next is objective. The objective of this research is to know whether or not digital storytelling can improve listening skills of secondary students. Next is significance. In this research, significance is may provide important information on how enhance digital storytelling improve student listening skills. Next is scope. This research just focus on using DTS or digital storytelling in secondary students. And the last chapter, the last is key terms. The one is digital storytelling. Digital storytelling in this research is a short form of digital media that who can improve student listening skills. And the next is listening skills. It is skill that contribute to ability to accurately receive information when communicating with each other. Okay, next is chapter 2. In chapter 2, we will talk about previous study and then literature review. The one is previous study. The first study or research has been conducted by Siti Nurjana in 2019 about using digital storytelling to improve students' listening abilities with pre-experimental design. And then the second research was conducted by Jufrianto CG, Haryanto Atmawardoyo, and Sukardi Weda in 2018 about teaching listening comprehension using digital storytelling with experimental design. Both of them related to my research because I use experimental design, and then I use media digital storytelling to improve students' listening abilities or listening skills. Okay, the next is literature review. According to Howat and Duncan definition, listening is the ability to perceive and understand what people are saying. Targan claimed that objective of listening is to capture, grasp, or live information of those conveyed in listening material. The combination of multimedia such as images, audio, video, and web publishing is also known as digital storytelling. There are 3 steps in the teaching procedure using digital storytelling. The one is preparation, implementation, and then confirmation. For my research design, I use quasi experimental, which use non-equivalent control group design. Non-equivalent control group design, it means that I will divide the class into 2 classes. The first class will be called as control class, and then the second class will be called as experimental class. And then population, sample, and research subject. Population are all AK, and some sample are class AC and AD, and then subject is secondary students of SMP and 3 Banawa, and then the sample is determined using cluster random sampling. It is I will randomize their class to choose 2 class to do this research. And then instrument, I use test and documentation. The next is about techniques of data collection. Because I use test, and there are some steps to use test. The one is determining the subject of the research. The next is give the test explanation, and then conducting the test, and the last is analyzing the test result. The second is documentation. I will taking picture to support the research. And then about technique of data analysis, I will using peer t-test. Okay, next is research schedule. To organize my research, I already arranged the research schedule. I will this research will be doing in SMP and 3 Banawa, and 2 times in 1 week and 1 hour lesson. As you can see here, some journals that I use to make this mini project proposal. The last is about appendix. This test using a listening test with audio visual related to the media is digital storytelling, and students need to fill the blank. That's all my presentation. I apologize if there are many mistakes when I explain the material, and I ended this presentation by saying wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and thank you very much.